Was Lord Voldemort actually right? Many of Lord Voldemort's actions are ethically and morally indefensible. However, it is possible to understand a character from his point of view. Let us examine together the aspects of Voldemort that can be justified. Conflict between the Muggle and Wizarding worlds. Voldemort saw the hiding and oppression of wizards from Muggles as a weakness. According to Voldemort, wizards were innately superior beings and should not have to hide. His fear was not misplaced, as there had been incidents in past history where Muggles had persecuted wizards. The desire to achieve immortality. One of the things Voldemort wanted most was to defeat death. In fact, many leaders and philosophers throughout human history have sought immortality. Could Voldemort's search for immortality through Horcruxes be an indication that he was trying to overcome his fears? For him, death is a weakness and an end to be avoided. But did he escape? Establishing a strong rule in the wizarding world. The wizarding world, especially under the Ministry of Magic, was at times chaotic and weak. Voldemort thought that he could bring a stronger and more stable order under his leadership. For him, the order he wanted to rule with its strict rules was a system that would strengthen the wizarding world. Childhood traumas and history. Voldemort's childhood was quite traumatic. He grew up in an orphanage without love, abandoned by his parents, and never had a real sense of belonging. This fueled his anger towards the world, and he wanted to feel more powerful. His childhood ostracism and lack of love in childhood was later transformed into a desire to assert himself through power and fear. Preservation of bloodline in wizardry. Voldemort advocated the preservation of the wizard bloodline and believed that pure-blood wizards were superior. Although this thinking was based on discrimination, there were concerns about the weakening of mage blood over time and the decline of magical power. He was never admitted to the headmaster's office at Hogwarts. Although Voldemort was one of the most talented students during his school years, he was never able to enter the headmaster's office at Hogwarts. Because in the history of wizardry, only the real headmasters of Hogwarts and their chosen ones can enter this room. Even when Voldemort became the Dark Lord years later, he tried to return to Hogwarts and become the headmaster, but he was never accepted into this room. Secrets of Voldemort. He lost his nose on purpose. Voldemort's snake-like face wasn't just caused by magic. He deliberately changed his human form. As Horcrux shattered his soul in the process of creation, he began to lose his human features. But the loss of his nose was a side effect of the dark magic he consciously cast to strengthen his bond with his snake, Nagini. In a sense, he wanted to remove himself from his human form. He addressed only one person as you. Voldemort usually addressed his friends and enemies in an arrogant and distant manner. However, he addressed only one person directly as you, Severus Snape. This was a sign of his trust in Snape and the special importance he attached to him. But Snape became one of the most important people who betrayed Voldemort. As a result, although Voldemort's actions were extreme, brutal, and cruel, it is possible to argue that from his perspective, he was trying to make the world a stronger place. However, since his method is based on fear, violence, and oppression, let's discuss his justification in the comments.